trackside.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Trackside Broadcasting. It's the start of a brand new sunny and hot week, and there's no better way to kick it off than some on-track racing. As always, before we get underway, we'd like to thank the Tanzo Racing Group for hosting this league and letting us bring you all the action this season. And also thank you to our sponsors, Spectra Racing, Clark St James Motorsports, and Murby Goes. Please also make sure to share the YouTube link to your friends and family so more people can support your favourite drivers. Currently, we are on race 7 of 8 tonight at the Algarve, the penultimate race of this season, and on my favourite, well, my absolute most favourite track of all time. A lovely, fast-flowing track that's just technical enough to be fun and difficult, and yeah, tricky to get the best lap times out of. And before we begin, though, joining me in the booth, as always, will be my co-host and right-hand man in broadcasting, a man that brings all the energy and a great sense of humour too. So let's get him in. Let's get him in here with me and say our hellos. Good evening, Gaz. How are we doing on this lovely summer's day?
Oh, good evening, Jimmy. I am absolutely splendid. Thank you very much. It's been another typical Monday, but the sun is still shining. The weather is good, and I cannot complain. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing absolutely fabulously. Thank you for asking.
Good to hear, my man. Good to hear. Look, like you said a minute ago, race 7 of 8, and we are at the Algarve, Jimmy. Fantastic track, isn't it, mate? What is your thoughts on this one?
Well, I said it on the intro, and it is just my absolute most favourite track of all time. You can't beat it, in my personal opinion. It's lovely, wide, fast flowing, has every corner type possible, so many opportunities to overtake and go side by side. It's just the perfect track for racing, and I just absolutely love it. No matter what car you're in, what series you're racing, it's just always perfect. And yeah, my absolute favourite.
Well, Jimmy, we've raced a few of my favourites so far this season. We've been all over Europe, and this is, I think, got to be another one. I don't think I favourite quite as much as you do, though, seeing as you make me and you race it every single time we do absolutely any kind of racing. But we're not talking about me and you tonight, Jimmy. Look, everyone can see it in the background. We are just over 7.5 minutes into qualifying. But before we get down to it and have a look at how everybody's doing, Jimmy, do you just want to quickly remind everybody just how it works here in the Tanzo Racing Group?
Absolutely. So, as we said earlier, we're on race 7 of 8 tonight. And we start with a 15-minute closed qualifying session for the drivers. We're currently 8 minutes into that at the moment, as you can see at the top left of your screen. So closed qualifying means the drivers are qualifying on their own. So there's no other cars on track for them, so they can put down their fastest laps without any distractions and get the best lap times possible for themselves. After that, we have a brief 5-minute warm-up for the drivers that they can do with as they wish, whether they want to pop to the bathroom, make a cup of tea, all the fun stuff, or if they want to just get a little bit of extra practice in before the race begins. After that 5 minutes, though, we are on to the 60-minute race.
Yeah, and
And
it's gonna be. Oh, sorry, Jimmy. I thought you were done there, my friend. Carry on.
oh no, I was. There was a little pause, so I figured I'd take over just in case there was some technical issues. But no,
No, no, no, mate. No, no. I was just going to say fantastic, mate. That is exactly how it works here in the Tanzo Racing Group. Look, Jimmy, like you said, we are just under that. We've come up to that 10-minute mark. We're nearly 9 minutes in. Let's jump down to track and have a look. Let's throw those times up on the leaderboard. And we say it every week, Jimmy. Look how close those times are again.
Yeah, I think the biggest gap we got currently is James Moore downwards, but we saw in practice that those guys are setting a lot closer lap times, so
I tell
be
you what
interested
though,
to see
Jimmy.
if they can improve on those times.
I tell you what though, looking at those times though, someone who's very close to the person in front of him, Harry Hartley Price. Look at that, 7/1000th of a second of Adam Wilson. We're up in P2 ahead of him at the moment.
Yeah, same with Joseph Greathouse and Jordan Butler, 11,000 separating those two as Joshua Higgy improves on his time, going just 44 thousandths of a second slower than John Harley. And yeah, I mean, he's doing very well for John Harley is doing very well for himself there, getting up amongst the elite class. He's setting some blistering times. Speaking of blistering times, though, Michael Gray with fastest lap currently in qualifying with a 140.9.
140.9. That is blisteringly quick. I think they were saying around about that in practice when we was just looking a moment ago, Jimmy. And I don't think it was too much quicker than that. And they found that with just under 5 minutes of qualifying left to go. Are we going to see any improvement on that? Do you think?
I'm looking at that bottom half. I feel like there's everyone's going in that 41s, 42s, but then the people in the 43s, I feel like there's a lot of room there. There's a lot of room. We saw yeah, James Moore, James Vardigan's going a bit quicker than that in qualifying. Matthew Massey as well in practice, and Harry Seven especially. I expect to see them setting some slightly quicker. There we go, Harry Seven. As I'm speaking about him, sets a lap time in the 1:42s there. So
There
there's
you go.
still time on the still time on
No,
the board.
plenty of time, and for them all to improve and get a few extra tenths, even a thousandths up there, it does make all the difference. It really is a great track, though, Jimmy. I'm just going to jump back to it. It's a bit of a GT3 playground, really, if you think about it. It's got loads of fast sweeping corners, heavy braking zones, lots and lots of massive elevation changes that just come out of absolutely nowhere. It really lets these GT3 cars showcase absolutely everything that they can do out on tracks like this. This is perfect for a GT3 car, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think what's nice in a GT3 car is sometimes the brakes can be a bit more forgiving than other cars because they do have ABS and traction control. And you touched on it there with the elevation. I mean, I think what people don't realize is that you don't brake the same. If you had a completely flat track and you were braking at the 50-meter board every single time, when you've got elevation, that can change because you brake more with your front brakes than you do with your rear brakes. So if you're going uphill, all the weight of the car is on the back of the car, so you're braking less overall. So you got to start braking a bit earlier, and then when you go downhill, same situation as well, and you're more prone to lockups depending on how you set your brake bias and all that. So there's a lot more for these drivers to think about and get used to with elevation, and I like that adds a bit more of a challenge in sort of the areas where you wouldn't really think about normally as well.
No, exactly that, Jimmy. We've said it before in previous races, but I think this is one that you can't shy away from the word. It really is a roller coaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know you were dancing. I know you were dancing. You didn't want to say it, but it really is the perfect description for this track.
Yeah, I've used it. I think I feel like I've overused it in races past, but yeah, as tracks go, it is one of the most roller coastery because it's just so flowing, and then you got that elevation as well, and it just yeah,
I tell
it's
you what,
a
though. I tell you what, though, for all the elevation changes and the braking spots and all those heavy turnings you got to do, Jimmy, that straight though is something to behold. Though 970 meters, absolute putting your pedal to the metal, flooring it all the way down. But then you've really got to be careful on that turn one, haven't you? You're going to fly with potentially what 19, 18 other cars behind you as well. These guys are going to have to be real careful.
Yeah, I mean, especially on that turn one because it's such a high speed turn one. You're kind of just diving on the brakes to get your car rotated through, and we'll see it when we do the onboard later on in the race. But it's such a
No,
treacherous turn one, but
it,
that's part of the fun of it because you carry all that speed through, and you try to go side by side through there, and it's so difficult, and that's why I love
Well,
it.
well, we will see it when we're on the onboard. Well, we'll get to that obviously in the race as well. But I think it's around about turn 14. You come out of there and it's really long swooping, and it just sends you straight into that straight. That turn one is going to be real hairy because it's going to be so fast. But we will get to that and we will have a look at that in a little bit. Jimmy, there's a minute left of qualifying. Do you think we're going to see any improvements out there?
I think at this point, everyone's you can see them all dipping into the pit lane now as we cut to them and pulling over and ending their runs. I don't think we're really going to see any more improvements going on. I think, yeah, there's just not enough time, sadly, for these drivers, and they probably set all the laps that they can. I think when you go on too long, your tires start to go a bit, especially on a track like this, and it's difficult to improve. As we watch Joseph Greathouse go across the line, he does improve. There we go. Goes up one more position and gets behind Raymond Van Zutphen. Great starting point for him. It's going to make it a bit more tricky for Matt Massey, Harry Seven, and Ryan Clark as they're going to have to work their way through a few of the AMs there to get back up with the rest of the pros. But Phil Giles, though, let's not ignore the
No,
fact that he set a
no,
really good lap time.
I've got everything crossed for Phil Giles today that he has a smooth race and doesn't get himself in any incidents this week, because I think it's been one every single week so far. But there you go, Jimmy. 4 seconds to go, and that is officially going to be the end of qualifying. We'll pull up the leaderboard in just a second's time. But there you go, race 7 of 8 here in the beautiful Algarve in sunny Portugal, matching the British weather today. Jimmy, do you want to let everybody know how it is going to line up at home once we get the graphic going? There it
Absolutely.
is.
So there we go. Leading the way in first place and first place in the elites, we have Michael Gray with a 140.9, the only one to get into the 140s, so blistering time from him there. In second place, we have Harry Hartley Price, followed by Craig Koresh, Adam Wilson Weir. Then lead the way in the pros, but fifth place overall, we have Phil Giles, followed by John Harley, Joshua Higgy. And then we have Aaron Sparks leading the way in the AMs, but eighth place overall. Then we have Quinton Clumpert, Jordan Butler, Otto Karras, Raymond Van Zutphen, Joseph Greathouse, Ryan Clark, Harry Seven, Christopher Haynes, Matthew Massey, and James Moore. And then James Barnigans rounds out your 19 drivers on track this evening.
There you go. There you go. So a quick 5 minute warm up for these drivers. Now go to the toilet, get a drink, get yourself ready, because it's going to be 60 minutes of racing action ahead of you. And Jimmy, you know what we've forgotten so far tonight? We haven't said hello to our viewers at home, because we've already got a comment sitting in there from one of our
I know, I
regulars.
saw that comment.
We got Marshmallow in here with us. Good evening, everybody. First of all, thank you again for joining us. Remember, like Jimmy said right at the start, share that link out as well. Share it right now so everybody can enjoy tonight's race. But Marshmallow, what are you saying then? Now, if we can just get the cars in a gaggle, we'll have a gym bingo. There it is. Hey, Marshmallow, he'll say it. He will. We've got an hour of racing. It will definitely come. It will definitely come. But no, there you go, Jimmy. I know you're looking forward to this one as much as I am. We are on race 7 of 8, though. There's one more left after this one. And as well as being crowned the champion of each of their classes, do you want to remind everybody what they're all fighting for as well?
Sorry, just quickly, I'm looking at a thesaurus to replace the word, the G word there, just to just to find something.
There you
But,
go. There you go. No, go
all
on.
right, yeah,
Forget
yeah,
about
yeah.
that one. Get to it. What are they racing for as well this season,
So we
Jimmy?
have a massive £150 prize money up for grabs this season, with £50 prize money going to the winner of each class. So we have £50 going to the elite winner, another 50 for the pro winner, and another 50 for the AM winner. That £150 was generously donated to the league by Murby Goes, Clark St James Motorsport, and Spectre Racing. So they donated the prize pool and yeah, sponsored the league as well. So thank you to those guys. Huge prize money up for grabs there, and a lovely little incentive for the drivers to push a bit harder and have a bit more racing going on.
No, there you go. Remember, guys, as well, do get at them on their socials as well. Every single one of them. Thank you very much for being with us again this season, to all of our sponsors, and of course the Tanzo Racing Group for hosting us again. But Jim, there's a couple of minutes left to go. What are these drivers going to be thinking going into race 7 of 8? The points are close as well in the categories in each of the classes, so every point matters out there.
Yeah, I mean we've got a. I think you were mentioning before in the practice session before we went live that there is a couple people leading the way in the elite class who are. Do you say they're equal on points as well?
Well,
So
I was gonna break it down in a little bit for everybody, but
okay,
yes,
okay, okay.
we no, no. All I'm gonna say is we do, Jimmy. Yeah, have a joint first in one of the classes. We are so close with one of the other ones as well. There is a little bit of a standout in another class as well, but it still can change. We'll get into that one though during the race when we see how everybody's settling down out there.
Yeah, and but yeah, if you, as you're saying, what the guy's going to be thinking, I think at this point, if you worry about the prize money and you worry about the points, you're just going to throw yourself off the race. You've just got to focus on the here and the now, and you got to live like a dog a little bit, haven't you? Live in the moment, kind of just think like, all right, this is what's happening right now, and then do the best that they can out on track. And not that dogs are out on track, but
I love that one,
that
Jimmy. You
metaphor
just
didn't really work.
you know, it didn't
You
really.
get
I was
what I
just
mean?
sitting.
They
I
live
was
in the
just sitting
moment.
there
They live in the
thinking, is
now.
is he
They can-
calling me a dog? What breed of dog are you calling me? No, we're not going to do this, Jimmy. We're not getting into this now. There you go. Marshmallow's come back with you: a murder of cars, a school of racers, and a flock of speed boys. I do like that last one. Jim, if you can get a flock of speed boys out there tonight, fair play to you.
I think that was a music band from the 80s, wasn't it?
I
But
have no idea. It was before my time, and that I'm not afraid to share.
it was a little joke. There was a band called Flock of Seagulls, and phenomenal band. You've heard their music before,
Quite
but
possibly, Jim. Quite possibly, but my music knowledge isn't as good as you. But I think that 5 minutes is just coming to an end now, Jim.
yeah, I'm just looking at the look at the thesaurus right now. A throng of cars. That's a good word to use it. Or a
Throng,
congregation. That could be a.
a congregation. What are we doing? Right, Jimmy, come on. Get your
Alright,
nose
moving on.
out of that
Moving on.
thesaurus. We are doing racing tonight, Jimmy. It's GT3 action, remember. Not try and find another word for the gaggles.
I've got 100 words up here ready to go for when the race gets underway. So the cars are now lining up before the race start on the grid, and they are lining up behind the safety car there. Looks like we've got a full pace lap around the track. Plenty of time for the drivers to warm up their tyres and get some heat in there before they get racing. And yeah, that final turn, turn 15, if you've got cold tyres at the start of this race, is incredibly treacherous. If you start to get on the power a little bit too early. But I think because these guys are going to be getting on the power when they cross the line, hopefully they should be absolutely fine going through, around here.
No, we've
But
seen
yeah,
it week after week, Jimmy. They're all a bunch of good lads out there. They're really good drivers. They're really talented, really skilled. They love to race hard, but they love to race clean. I don't think we're going to get many problems, but there is 19 cars going to be a side by side lap per lap, pretty much. So we'll have to see how it does go. But there you go, Jimmy. The pace car setting off
sorry, just
ahead.
quickly, was that Matt Massey down at the back just crashing into the car of Joseph Greathouse ahead of him, or Christopher Haynes? Sorry.
I'm not going to lie, I was watching for the pace car, so I didn't actually catch that one. We'll have to see whether we might have a replay of that one a little later for you guys at home
Or was
if,
that
if
Harry
indeed
Seven?
it did happen.
I
We'll
think
have a look at
that.
that one in a little bit, Jim. But so if he did crash off the line into the car in front, who'd you blame? The guy in front for not paying attention, or
Oh,
are
that was
you
Matt
to blame?
Massey. He started before the race went. I just drove. I think it was just a friendly little bumper
Come
kiss
on,
from him there,
off,
just
off,
to
off we go,
before the race
off we
starts.
go.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. There we are, Jimmy. But no,
Yes.
don't please carry on.
Like I say, you can see the cars there doing a bit of weaving, doing a bit of wiggling, get some heat in those tyres. A few of them you can see dabbing on the brakes there, just to get some heat into their brakes before they start as well. And yes, that was Matt Massey crashing into his. I say crashing, just giving his teammate and his
A
mate
little
there,
love
Harry
tap,
Seven, a little, yeah,
little love tap.
little bumper kiss before the race starts. A little bit of encouragement before they get underway.
I'm not gonna lie, bumper kiss does not sit right with me, Jim. It's just something that doesn't sound really right about that at all. But no, anyway, there you go. So the safety car's going to peel in just a moment's time, and then it's down to the line. Lights will go, and away they will go with Michael Gray going to be starting us off there. But no, Jimmy, 15 corners, 2.8 miles, 4.6 kilometers of absolute fantastic track ahead of us for the next hour. I can't wait.
Oh, the Brum came out in the word hour there, didn't it?
All right, thanks for calling that one to it, Jim. Just trying to make everybody aware of that one. Thank you.
Nothing wrong with a good accent going on there. You can see them really getting the slamming on the brakes there, accelerating, slamming on the brakes. They're definitely trying to get anything they can out of the cars before they get into the wave, taking full advantage of the longer pace lap that we've got today. But as you said earlier, a few more corners left. In a moment's time, that pit car will go into the pit lane. and then it's all down to when Michael Gray crosses the start finish line and they are underway. And you'll know that's happened because first of all we'll call it, but second of all you'll see the that sort of ring of string of lights at the top of your screen will go orange, and that means the race is a go.
There you go. And it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a good one. I hope it's as good as last week because we had a really fun race last week, didn't we, Jim, in Barcelona? I hope we can
Oh,
repeat it.
yeah, last week was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, very much love that race. It was chaos but great racing at the same time.
Oh, there was something going on in every single moment of that race. I don't think it called off at any point whatsoever, and hopefully we will get it again. But here we go,
So
Jimmy, just going
just
around the
quickly, you
last
can really
corner
see the
now.
camber of that last corner there as they come round just
It's
mid.
almost like an embankment, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't really see that as much when you're on board. But a little message from Daniel Paul here in the YouTube chat as well. Good luck all. And yeah, absolutely. Good luck to everyone out on track this evening. As you can see them all bunching up, getting ready to go any moment's time. There you go, the safety car dipping into the pit lane now. Then it's all down to Michael Gray crossing that start finish line before they all shoot off down to that beautiful turn one.
There you go, 970 meters of pure straight track ahead of them, Jimmy, as they get off here at the start of this race in a moment's time down to that turn one. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
it's coming up.
excited.
It's coming up. And they
Here we
are off.
go.
They are underway. And I'm really excited to see how they take this turn one because it is a very, very tricky corner to take, especially too wide on cold tyres at the start of a lap. There you go. Going almost single file through there just to keep it clean as they go three wide further back as someone
Oh,
has a
we've.
spin.
I think
Is
that's
that a.
Quintin. Was that Quintin or was it Otto that dropped through there? No, sorry, I don't think it
No,
was
we're
Otto
still on board
Carries.
with Otto at the moment. I think it. I couldn't see who it was. Let's go back and take a look. Was that Craig Corish actually? So going
A
from the
Corish.
They go from the front to the back. But I mean, we say it every single week. If you're gonna make a mistake, do it on turn one, lap one, and you got the whole rest of the race to catch back up.
There you go.
And
See
yeah,
Craig
it just
Corish just
clips out
catching that
inside curb,
sausage.
and then oh, good avoidance from the car behind him there,
Good
holding the
avoidance
brakes,
from
getting the car
everybody.
rotated beautifully, and
Look at that. Absolutely missed every single one of them there. They all missed him on the way through. Some brilliant control there, getting on the brakes from Craig Corish, but some brilliant driving by everybody else not to get involved in that incident, especially with the car right behind him. I'm not too sure who that is. Well, I believe it. Yeah, is that was it Phil Giles? I think it was just behind him in that. Yeah, it
yeah.
was Phil Giles. Oh, Phil, come
I
on,
know he
mate.
never gets left alone, does he? He never gets left alone. I've
No, he doesn't.
I've got all my fingers and toes crossed that Phil Giles just has a just makes it to the end.
Well,
Just
I
makes it
tell
to
you
the
what,
end.
Jimmy, that incident is going to mean something if that doesn't improve for Craig Corish, because as you touched on earlier, it is Craig Corish and Michael Gray who are currently tied on points going into this race tonight at the top of the elite leaderboard. So that is not going to be what Craig is wanting to be sitting all the way back in P18 at the moment, P5 in class. He's going to want all those points because we know Michael is strong. But Michael has just been pipped at the start by Harry Hartley Price, took him over there into P1. Michael Gray falling back into P2 with Adam Wilson. We're in P3. John Harley leading the way for the pros down in P4, but P1. Phil Giles just behind him with Jordan Butler in P3 and Harry Seven just behind him as well. Aaron Sparks still leading the way, qualified P1, stayed in P1 for the start of this race, currently still in P1. Aaron Sparks for the AMs out there. Joshua Heagy joining us again this week. I don't think we've seen him since about week one or week two, Jimmy. So it'd be really interesting to see what he does and what he brings back to the table. But no, Quintin Clumpert just dropping in behind Joshua Heagy, followed by Otto Karras. Raymond Van Suppen down in P12, P2 for the AMS at the moment. And Joseph Greathouse still in P3. Joseph is not used to being that low. We'll have to see what he can do over the next 58 minutes. Following on from Joseph Greathouse, so you've got Ryan Clark, James Vardigan, Craig Corish now up to P16, so he's already gained a couple of spots there from his little incident that put him down into P18, but right now back up into P16. Following on from him, Christopher. Oh, it looks like Joshua Higgins had an incident. He's dropped all the way to the back of the pack, pushing Craig Corish up to P14, followed by Christopher Haynes and James Vardigan, who are fighting, but James is dropping as well. Matt Massey, P16. Something has happened. What has happened here, Jimmy? It's all dropping and swapping at the bottom of the leaderboard. So what has happened there? So we're watching Joshua Higgy in the middle of the screen at the moment in the red. He just seems to lose it. It looks like he gets on that gravel a little bit and just tracks slightly out wide. Seems to come into contact with another car there.
There you go. Sorry, I had a microphone issue there. Was not switching on. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah.
Oh, and a couple of little tags there. I think that was James Moore, was it, who just tagged him on the way through? No, Jimmy, what happened there? 'Cause it looked like he just caught a little bit of the gravel. His back end seemed to go out
That's
on him.
exactly what it was. He
There
just
you
went a little
go.
bit wide, getting that gravel on those cold tyres early on the race, and the back end just absolutely lost. That gravel is a killer around this track because you're putting so much load on the tyres going around all these bends that yeah, as soon as you lose the tyres a little bit, you just go around, which is really annoying. But we got a couple shout outs in the YouTube chat. Don't knock, just come in. Love that username. With let's go Higi, and yeah, I think poor timing on that one, but
Yeah,
shout out
real
to
poor.
yeah, shout out to Joshua Higi there,
There
and
we go.
we got Valeria Zonato as well in the YouTube chat. Enjoy the race, Christopher. Hope the internet doesn't crash this time. Absolutely, we don't want anyone to be coming out of this race and yeah, having any issues or technical issues on their end. We want to see them racing till the end as James Vardigans leaves that pit lane.
There you go. Joshua
There you
Higgins
go.
just coming out of the pit lane behind him as well. So down in P19, P5 overall, and James Vardigan's bottom of the pack for the AMs at the moment. Plenty of time to catch up with the cars in front of them. Still plenty of time left in this race, Jim. Just over 55 minutes. We're not even 5 minutes in yet.
Yeah, we got Ryan Clark here scrapping with the car of Joseph Greathouse. Those Spectra boys giving a bit of a Spectra sandwich there for Ryan Clark as they put the pressure on him, and he's got to try and catch up with the rest of those pros higher up the field. But they are still all in a bit of a let's check my thing here. A bit of a clique of cars going around the the track, and
Clique of cars. You're trying to use different words, aren't you, here, Jim?
I know I didn't like that one as much.
There you
Well,
go. There you
I'll,
go.
I'll save the G words for a special moment. But no, great. Yeah, great little
Great.
battle there with Craig Corish really working his way back up through the field, already halfway up the pack after that little incident on turn one. And yeah, he is flying at the moment. He was very quick on track. Michael Gray leading the race, almost pulling a second on Harry Hartley Price after Harry had the lead on that first lap. Phil Giles losing a bit of time to John Harley as well, but keeping it calm and collected. And yeah, John Harley is able to sit with those elites, and he's having a pretty good race himself up there. A lot of pace on that man. And same with Phil and Harry Seven. They're doing very well for the pros. As Ryan Clark, well, I know it's Christopher Haynes, sorry, this time getting a bit scrappy with a couple cars here. Those boys in yellow, they're getting a bit door bangy around here.
Yeah, I think that's Quinton Clumper who is door banging just in front of him. Who's just slips ahead of the Mercedes now. And I do like that green on that Porsche. Though, just will say that right now. But no, it's been a great race so far to start off, Jimmy. This first 6.5 minutes. Someone that I want to touch on, Aaron Sparks. So having an absolute flyer at the moment.
Sorry, just
P7
quickly, one thing we
overall.
need to
Oh, go.
mention: Quinton Clumpert missing. Is he missing the front of his bumper? Is he missing the whole face of his car there? Because it looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is, but he doesn't seem to be slowing him down at all, really.
No, he's flying along at the moment.
No, there you go. Sorry, Jimmy, just back to what I was saying. Aaron Sparks, I just want to say, fantastic race from him so far. Michael Gray sets a new fastest 1:41.9. But no, Aaron Sparks, phenomenal race, qualified in P1, still sitting in P1. And he's got, what, two pros and an elite sitting between him and the next AM. He's having a flying start to this race. He'll be looking to continue that one for sure. But there we go. Look at Quinton and Christopher Haynes side by side as we come down here. Christopher just gets ahead of him as Quinton tries to cut just in behind him. But now that does allow Matt Massey up on the inside of him. Matt Massey gains position as well, along with Christopher Haynes up in the P14 and P15 overall. Not racing each other, but these guys are racing each other out on track.
Yeah, those guys are. Yeah, they're battling hard. And fair play to Quinton there for battling that well with that much damage on his car. It appears he got caught up with that Higi crash earlier on, and yeah, he lost the face of his car. But yeah, you can see him dropping through the field now. He's struggling to get the rotation on that car and a bit of pace as well
Well,
down that start-finish straight.
Well, I don't know if you've seen it, Jimmy, but Marshmallow says he's just making his car lighter, easy. And he's giving you another one, a truly fast conflux of cars.
There you go.
Not my opinion.
That's
Can we just stick
a
to the
belt.
gaggle? I like the gaggle.
We're just teasing you guys. We're just teasing you. It's
There's too many big words here for me, Jimmy. You know I can't deal with these big words. But no, there you are. Michael Gray still leading the way 8.5 minutes into this race. It's P1 overall, P1 for the elites. John Hardy still leading the way for the pros, P1 there. And Aaron Sparks still leading for the AMs. Don't think. No, it has. Phil Giles actually did qualify a P1 looking at it, John Harley. So he has jumped him at the start there and he's sat in front pretty much the whole time since. But no, it's a great race from our class leaders so far tonight, Jim.
It really, really is as they're battling hard there. Craig Corish really fighting his way up that field as he makes a beautiful move on Otto Karas there. It just makes it look effortless and yeah, and he's just off on his way. No stresses there. It's a shame. Oh, is that Raymond Van
Oh,
Supford
Raymond.
losing the rear end around that turn one? I wonder if he caught that little tiny divot on the inside or maybe the curb and spun the back end out. Let's have a little
Let's
look
have a
here. So
let's
going
have a
into the
quick look.
braking zone, dabbing on the brakes about now. Getting the car slowed down a little bit to get that rotation, turns in, goes a little bit wide actually, and I think he gets back on the power a little bit too soon. I think he just carried too much speed around there, tried to over rotate to compensate, and the back end just slipped round.
Yeah, way too much, and that has cost him there. Dropped in down to P17 overall, Jimmy. P5. Was that P5? Sorry, one. Yeah, P4. Sorry, in class at the moment for him. No,
Yeah.
P5. It was P5. I do apologise. And no, there was. I think there was a change when I was counting that.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say though, those AMs are doing very well out on this evening, and yeah, Quinton Clumpert though, I just want to touch on that one a bit more. He kind of had that. He lost the face of his car about 5 minutes into a race. It's an hour-long race, and it's going to cost you pace the entire time round. What would you do in that situation? Would you pit for a new
I,
front bumper, get that aerodynamics back in your car, or would you stay out and then just get it all done in the pit stop later on?
well, I think ultimately, Jim, it really depends. One, where I am
Sorry, just
positioned.
quickly. He hit
No,
that curve on the
he
inside there, didn't
really did hit that curve there. Sorry, no, very, very close one there for Mr. Adam Wilson. We're on that one, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm
he?
sure I'm
Yeah,
glad he didn't send him over any further there.
yeah, I'm amazed he didn't spin from that one, but yeah, he probably he's probably a little bit shooken up. Just needs a bit of a breather. He has got a slow down penalty though that he's going to have to serve any second now and potentially lose a position to John Harley in the process. But yeah, what would you do about the whole Quinton situation?
So it depends. One, what where I am out on track overall and what position I'm in, essentially in class as well. If I'm losing too
Well,
much
we're talking about
speed,
from Quinton's point of view here. So
from
from where
Quint,
he is on track in
from
his
where
class.
he is out on track with just over 11 minutes gone, I'd be getting myself in and sorting that front end out. I've got then just under 50 minutes to gain my positions back. I know I'm not slow out there. I know I can compete with everybody else no matter what class they're in. I'd be going in, Jim. What about you?
I think I'd be doing the same. I think I think I would do one lap afterwards and see what my pace difference is because if you're losing maybe 3, 4 tenths a lap, you could kind of stick with it, stay out there. But if you're losing half a second upwards, you could make back that time that you lose from having that pit stop and replacing the bumper of your car there over the course of the next half hour. So yeah, I
See,
think like you, I'd dip in there.
I think I definitely dip in, but I think for me, Jimmy, the second is way too much. I think if I'm even close to 4 tenths, 5 tenths, I'm losing a lap. I'm losing nearly half a second per lap. That soon mounts up over a 60-minute race. I need to get myself in as soon as I can. But he hasn't got himself in at the moment, so he must be pretty content with his pace out there.
Yeah, he seems fairly happy with it, and I'll be interested to see what the pace difference is like after the pit stops at the halfway point. The pit stops here are quite nice as well. They're quite easy to get into. They got kind of it's fairly easy to figure out where your braking point is for those, so you can carry a lot of speed through them. So I'm expecting us to see some good solid pit stops here. Not a lot of people losing too much time, as long as everyone's done their practice. We talk about
This,
every week. You need to practice those pits.
I was just thinking, Jimmy, I think it's been like the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks in a row now. We've seen at least one black flag per race for someone infringing some kind of rules in the pit lanes. Let's see if we can go without one this week. There you go. There you go. Viewers at home, let us know. Do you think we'll get a black flag in the pits for anybody this week? Do you think they'll break any of those rules? Let us know. Guys, haven't heard much off you guys as well. Let us know, who are you backing tonight? We've heard a couple of you. We know Christopher Haynes has got a shout out there. We know Josh Heagy's got a shout out there so far. But come on, let us know who you are backing. We are in race week 7 of 8. There's only 2 left, and that includes this one.
Jordan Butler there with a switchback. He's really giving Craig a run for his money there over the course of that lap. And
Well,
yeah, he really made him fight for his position. I think a lot of the other people he kind of smashed to slip past with a sort of relative ease for Craig there. But no, Jordan Butler seems to be really hanging on the back of him, and it really goes to show the level of skill that Jordan Butler's got. And I think it says something for the rest of the cars that Craig's gonna have to work his way through now. That it's not going to be an easy ride from this point onwards.
no, and I'm not taking anything away from any of the guys towards the back of the pack here, but he got himself past those slower cars technically out on track, Jimmy, and he's up with the guys who are now fighting for those top positions. We know how strong they are. I was going to say it before as well, but we cut away from it. When he was when Craig was chasing up to Jordan Butler, I was going to say Jordan is not going to be easy for him to get past. We know how good Jordan is out there. I think we saw it last week. He had about a 10 minute stint where his solid defensive driving really helped him out on track. So let's have a look. When did Craig get that move done? Because he drops out wide a little bit, Jim. It looks like it.
A
Lost
little bit,
quite a
but
lot of
then Jordan
speed.
does go for a really nice switchback here and gets the preferred line through these next set of corners going on the outside here. Gets to set himself up for a really nice exit, but Craig does manage to, going so tight through there, carry just that bit more speed, and I think Jordan Butler
I
doesn't
think
fight it too hard.
See, I think Jordan lost too much speed going out the way that he did. Yes, it set him up beautifully to take the inside line for the next corner and get him right back up there. But Craig not dropping any speed and going around those corners flawlessly as he did, he kept the position and gained himself a position there, got himself up to P7, P4 overall in class. He's got 3 pros in front of him, and they are not going to be easy either to get past. Little bit of time between them all now as well, so he's got some time to catch up on as well. So we really have to have lap after lap after lap of flawless driving, Jim, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, he's absolutely going to have to be sort of millimeter perfect with his lines and precision through the corners to be able to catch back up, and it's going to be hard to start getting overtakes on the other elites. So he's kind of going for glory positions here. I don't think he's really going to make it into that top 4 after how much he's been set back through that spin. How far is he off at the moment? About 10,
14 or
15
so
seconds.
seconds, 15 seconds or so, roughly about there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
He's behind at the moment. He's got a lot of time to catch up on, and those guys are very, very fast. And the longer he leaves it, the further ahead they're going to potentially get ahead. Michael Gray currently, just over 5.5 seconds at the minute he's got on Harry Hartley Price. And look how strong Harry started the race tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and when you say it like that, finding 15 seconds over about 45 minutes, it doesn't sound like too difficult a task, but when you're talking about the skill level of like top guys that we've got here, it is a tall order, especially when you got Michael Gray setting the fastest laps of the race there.
There you go, another fastest lap from him. But no, Jimmy, completely agree. It's like I said, you've got really, really fast guys out there who know these tracks like the back of their hands, like the look of it, by the look of how they're driving out there. They are so fast. Craig has got a lot of work to do to catch up with the rest of them, but taking nothing from Craig, truly phenomenal. Get himself back up from P18 to P7 though overall. Great racing so far, and he's done that in about 12 minutes. I think he done the spin in about 5 minutes in, and we're 17 minutes in now. So he's worked that time back in about 12 minutes in those positions. That is truly great driving.
Yeah, I do expect him to see him at least 4th place overall, but he has at the moment got a 4th place in the elites. Joshua Higgy just a little bit too far back from that earlier incident in the race, which is, yeah, it's disappointing for him, but at least he's staying out on track, getting those extra laps in, because you never know what's going to happen. We've seen it before where people have stayed out and they've managed to gain a fair few positions just through other shenanigans happening out on track, and yeah, it always
Other
pays to stay out, I
shenanigans.
think.
I thought I was just having a look while you were saying it there, Joshua Higi. I think the last time we saw him was back in Italy when we raced Monza, Jimmy. That was back in race week 2. So he's left us for a few weeks, come back to us now, back in race week 7. I don't think he's going to be in with a shout of winning the championship, but I really, really am glad that he's back with us and out there racing tonight. And it's a fantastic league again.
Yeah, I always like it when the more the merrier. I always say, it's nice to have more cars out on track. It gives you more action, more people to follow, and it is always much nicer.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jimmy, we're not going to ruin the surprise of what we got coming up. I know a few of these guys already know, but the guys at home don't. But we've got a really, really good track next week. I'm hoping it brings all of the drivers back out the woodwork.
Yeah, it's an absolute belter of a track, and this is my favorite track of all time. But
But
next
yeah,
week for the finale is the one that I'm really looking forward to watching the most. I
yeah.
think out of all of them.
I tell you, it was one, Jimmy, that I looked at initially when we got past the information for it at the start of the season. I was a bit like, oh, okay. We really have to wait 8 weeks though to do this. I'm so looking forward to well, obviously it's a season finale. I always like a season finale because it really brings out the best of everyone. It's sad because it's the end of another season. Obviously, we have to wait a few weeks, a couple of months before we can get going again. And but no, I really, it's such a great track. We stick around with us. You've got to stick around right up until the bitter end to find out where we are racing. If you don't know, and if you do know, don't ruin it. Don't put it in the comments or anything, guys. Let it be a nice surprise because it really is a great track we are at. But Jimmy, back to this one, back to the Algarve. Nearly 20 minutes in, Michael Gray still leading the way, followed by Harry Hartley Price and Adam Wilson Weir in P3. That has not changed pretty much since the start of the race, I'd say. John Harley still leading the way in the pros. Phil Giles still in P2 and Harry Seven still in P3. With Craig Corrish trying to catch up to those guys, getting those seconds down, just breaking into that second now on Harry Seven ahead of him. Is Harry going to let him go past? We'll find out in just a moment's time. Followed by Jordan Butler, Otto Karras, Aaron Sparks leading the way for the AMS still at the moment with Joseph Greathouse up into P2 now and only, what, 2.5 seconds or so just off of Aaron. And we know how quick Joseph is. Is he going to catch up? We will find out. Ryan Clark follows on behind them, a few seconds behind, followed by Christopher Haynes, your last podium spot in the AMS at the moment, followed by Matt Massey, James Moore, Raymond Van Zutphen, and Quinton Clumpert. Joshua Higi and James Vardigan rounds out the back of the pack at the moment. Still plenty of chopping and changing to do, Jimmy. We've still got the pits to go in probably about, I'd say about 8 to 10 minutes time. We'll start seeing some cars potentially coming in there, and we'll see how it all pans out.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, we are coming up to that halfway point of the race as Christopher Haynes gets a slow down penalty that he's going to have to serve in a moment's time, but he's got a decent buffer behind him, so that shouldn't affect his position on track. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the pit stops probably won't affect too much on a race like this. It's hard to say. I don't know if we can see the track temps at all, but I mean, tire wear is usually pretty bad around here because you're constantly putting a lot of load on the tires, all the high speed corners and everything, and yeah, but I don't think people are going to be changing tires really on this track, as they're not really spinning out. You can see massive tire marks here from Adam Wilson, where he is pushing that car hard around these curves, around these corners. But no, I think people are going to go in a quick splash and dash in the pits, and then I think they're going to be back out again. I don't think it's going to affect it too much on a track like this.
A quick splash and dash. I absolutely love that, Jimmy. You sound like one of those guys who used to stand in the toilets back in when I used to go clubbing all those years ago and offer you aftershave and everything like that for £1. And I actually paid to wash my hands for £1 as well. No, you
That's like
remember
why
those
you hanging
times.
around in the toilets at clubs. You should be out
You're
there on the
hanging,
dance floor.
hanging around in the toilets. Don't turn this into something. Look, viewers at home, I don't just hang around in club toilets as much as
Paying
Jimmy
men
wants
in
to
the
say it.
toilets in clubs. That's
Absolutely
not the
not the
kind
way
of
you
talk that we
sound.
want on a broadcast here, guys. But
Right. Anyway, bringing it back to the racing action of GT3, which we are going to talk about for the next 35 minutes, Jimmy. Shall we have an onboard? Because I think it's time we have a look at what these guys are facing out on track tonight. Stop
yeah,
laughing, and we're going on
let's do it
board.
on board.
I tell you what, we'll jump on. We do it each and every week. We'll go on board with our race leader. We'll jump on board with Michael Gray, sorry, when he rounds out and starts on to the next lap for you in just a few moments' time. And we really will see. and I'm going to say it. I know you don't like it, Jimmy, but we're going to see this roller coaster of a track because it really, really is. Look at the elevation right there. You can see it without being on board. How much that dropped down, how much you're coming back round. That last corner, almost that bank on that corner there, Jim. But no, you say it better than I can do any day of the week. So we're going to save it all for the onboard in just a moment's time.
And there's a few YouTube comments there that I'll acknowledge, but I'm not going to read out loud just because they're trying to get the banter that we should probably stay away from it at the moment. But yeah, coming around the final couple corners here, we have Michael Gray, and then we'll jump on board with him and we'll do a run through so you at home can see the kind of laps that these guys are doing as they're coming across the final corner just here.
Sorry, I just caught those comments. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be repeating those ones, Jimmy. Please take us away, mate. We're coming round up onto that straight now.
Yep, so we're on board with Michael Gray as we go down the start-finish straight here, and we've got a beautiful bit of elevation, downhill braking coming up right now. Crazy elevation, you can see right there. Dab on the brakes, get the car rotated through this beautiful right-hander, back on the power as soon as you can, and then not slowing down until you slam on the brakes here. Heavy braking zone, and you kind of brake a little bit more than you want to because you want to set yourself up as far on the right-hand side of the track as you can to carry as much speed through this uphill left-hander here. And again, we've got a massive downhill braking zone coming up right now into a nice little hairpin where you'll track out as wide as you can, avoiding that sausage curve on the inside, using the camber to rotate you a little bit more, tracking out wide as you can, and then back on the throttle as soon as you can. This next section here, again, dabbing on the brakes just a little bit to get the car rotated, back on the throttle, then heavy on the brakes to get the car slowed down and rotated again as you go back out, tracking out wide, blind little crest on the hill there as we go back on the throttle, back on the power, carry that speed through into this little awkward section here because you kind of hover around the middle of the track to set yourself up best for the corner, and then you just get using the brakes to rotate your car, set itself up, and then back on the throttle. Possible little lift here depending on the tyre wear of the track to keep you in position, and then we've got a nice little uphill left-hander hairpin, and then again moving swiftly over to the left-hand side, down with the brakes to get the car rotated, using the rotation here to get back on the throttle, going out as far wide as possible. Then a slight little lift early so you can get back on the power downhill, and then you carry that speed all the way through out up the little hill here, and then back down that start finish straight. So it is a very technical, lovely track, and it's so much fun to drive around. But it can be treacherous if you catch those big yellow sausage curves on the inside of those corners. So what's what we got back here with Adam Wilson Weir and Craig, was it? No, it's not Craig, sorry. And
No, with
oh,
Harry
just
Hartley
cut
Price.
across his nose. Yeah, sorry, Harry Hartley Price, thank you. Just cut across his nose a little bit. It wasn't quite clear as he brakes very late, gets back on the inside. John Harley just having a little peek behind them, keeping keeping an eye to see if he can get an extra position out on track as yeah, they go side by side. Lovely little battle going on here. But yeah, getting
They
a
can
little
tell you
close for
what,
comfort on that first corner.
getting very close to comfort, and that is allowing John Harley back into the mix. So no, we'll have to see how it goes. There you go, trying to nearly going into the back of Harry Hartley Price there. But no, looking at it now, Jimmy, that time is so close between the three of those guys. There's a half a second in it between all three of them at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. But Jordan Butler dropping down a couple of positions there. Oh no, he's gone to the pits. That's why. Didn't say pit straight away.
Yes, it's a very early pit, I'd say, for Jordan Butler, but he must have worked out the fuel and just figured now's the best time to dip in, refuel, and then get back out there. But yeah, very very early for him. He might have to be doing a little bit of lift and coast towards the end of the race, I
big,
would say, unless he's going to do
big
a
old undercut.
another. Yeah,
Well, you never know, Jimmy. We do see him bunch up a little bit more towards the end of this race when the racing does really clamp down in like the last 15 minutes and everybody's trying to get those last few positions. Maybe he's expecting to be behind someone where he can lift and coast just a little bit more.
yeah, but it still seems that he's in the pits for quite a while though, and
Did he
I
take
wonder
any
what's going
damage
on.
or
I
anything,
didn't
or is
see him
he
get any
out?
damage. He wasn't meatballed, unless he's just had to retire the car potentially.
Has
Let's have a
anything
little
gone
look.
on here?
So tracks out a bit wide. Oh, loses the
Oh,
rear end. Oh, maybe he does get damage. Oh, he
does
does
he
get
go to the
damage, doesn't
wall? Oh,
he?
he look.
Yeah,
Oh, a
that
lot
is
of
a
damage.
big hit. And but he
There
should
you
have had a
go.
fast repair though. The drivers have all got a fast repair. So I don't know what's happened to him unless he has just retired from the race. It's Harry Seven now, the first of the pitters coming in potentially for a normal pit stop. Probably just getting a bit of clean air and then getting back out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be really interesting to see what does go on with Jordan Butler at the minute. It's flashing between pit and out at the minute. So I'm not too sure what is going on, but still, this is a long, long time, Jimmy, even with those repairs on there. So we'll have to see what happens. No, but it does look like the cars are starting to peel in. I did think it would be around about this time, but this was at the very early end of the pit. I still didn't think they'd come in this soon.
Yeah, I wonder if people are just getting caught up in little groups and then they just want to get out of that dirty air from the car in front. Maybe the slipstream isn't quite working as it should for them, and then they're thinking, well, I'm fast in the car ahead, and I just can't get the overtake done. So let's pit early, get some fuel in the car, get out into a different position on track, and then see if they can go for that undercut later on. Maybe cool the tires down just a little bit while they do their pits, and
No,
yeah,
absolutely. I think I've got to agree with you there, Jimmy. But I'd say your three cars who don't seem to be green on doing that at the minute is Harry Hartley Price, John Harley, and is it? Sorry, is it? Yeah, Adam. Was it? Is it? No, is one of them dips in. Sorry, is that changed at the top? Or was it Adam Wilson? I do apologise. Yeah, but it doesn't look like those guys are leaving each other alone at all at the moment. Time is opening up just a little bit for now, but none of them going in just at the moment. So we'll have to see when they do. They seem to be the closest ones fighting out there currently. But you got Raymond Van Sutphen now trying to gain up another position, coming up right on James Moore, Jim. James Moore, Jim. There you go. Lots of Jameses out here as always.
yeah, it looked like James Moore had a little bit of a moment coming out of that corner there, which has allowed the car of Raymond Van Zutphen to gain on him from quite a bit. Let's see what happened to Harry 7 here. So coming up to the braking zone, and then heavy on the brakes. Let's see what happens. Gets the car rotated. Does he lose the rear end? No.
Not yet. No, it's got.
There we
There
go.
you
Yeah.
go.
Kept it very,
Does
very tight through that corner. Weirdly tight. I thought he'd be tracking out wide like we see the Beamer there doing at the same time. So I think maybe he just
no.
overslowed, tried to get back on the power a little bit too early, and then the camber just threw off the rear end a little bit as yeah, Raymond Van Zutphen really looking to get the move done on James Moore there, showing his nose a little bit going into the corner, and yeah, I think he's wanting to get a bit fighty before the pit stops happen. See if he can get that position through the pits, because I
No.
mean you don't really want to be following someone to the pit lane in case they
No.
overslow going in. You don't want to hit them or potentially
No.
lose any time from.
I think that causes just it's something I tend to stick away from. Jimmy just causes that little bit more unnecessary risk of them going over slow in there, or even something as if them just having a quicker pit than me. That would just annoy me more. Seeing that if I'm sat in my pit box still.
Yeah, it's a common thing when you put that extra lap of fuel in to be safe, or if they under fuel and they go for the lift and coast and they're out there before you and you're like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
No,
But
definitely like that. And someone saying, "Come on, come on, come on!" At the minute, it'll probably be John Harley. Three temps within Harry Hartley hot price just ahead of him, gets
as he
side
goes
by
for the
side with
dive
him.
on the inside,
Oh,
and
little bit of paint touch there, just over the sausage curve. That sends John Harley. Has he got the position though? I don't think he does. Harry seems to have a lot of speed coming out of there, and he's got the inside. Oh,
oh,
I think that's on John there, Jim.
oh, that car was so close to flipping over. I wouldn't say that was on John. John was still in the track
Well,
limits. I don't know why Harry Hartley Price tried to squeeze him that much,
Well, we
knowing
need to
that
have another look at that one. I think we definitely need to have another look at that one because the way I was looking at it there, it looked like John came across there, but I may be mistaken. John, if you are listening back to this or you are listening now, bear with me until we get a replay on that one. But that has caused Harry Hartley Price to dip into the pits now. We did see him spinning out on the gravel at the end there, Jim. That is a massive change at the top of the leaderboard right now with them guys fighting. That's allowed Craig
yeah,
Corish to get a podium spot back. He's now up to P3 overall, P4 out on track with Phil Giles ahead of him. He could get P3 overall before the end of this if he continues the way that he's doing. But that is really unfortunate. But let's have another look at this, Jimmy, shall we? So, John Harley, Harry Hartley Price, talk us through what has happened here.
yeah. So I think they were both driving a little bit frustrated, and yeah, the track limits are weird on this one, but I mean, technically, you could almost say that like John Harley went a little bit off track, but at the same time, he was within the track limits. He wasn't out. The track limits are kind of on the edge of that sort of red and white curb that we see, and
So,
yeah,
he's
so you
okay
see.
where he is.
He's okay where he is. I don't know why at this point Harry Hartley Price is squeezing him so much, knowing because I mean John Harley kept his line, so even if he was off track, he kept his line, and yeah, I think just Harry Hartley Price just didn't play that
See,
sensibly, and
but I'm also seeing this from the other side there, Jim. Now, surely John knows at this point he hasn't got the position on track. He's not far enough up ahead at the moment. Surely he should be easy enough just to tuck back in behind there.
but
Because if he's still in limits, why has he come back over? Is what I'm asking. Is what I'm asking there.
because well, he's got the gravel coming up, and I
Yeah, but
mean,
he's still got plenty. He's still got plenty of that green curve there though as well. The red changed to the green before going back to the red. He's still had plenty of that, and if that's in limits, as you are saying, then I can't see why he's come back over. That's where
yeah,
I'm
true.
seeing the issue. But
It is a tough one, but at the
it
same
really is.
time, I would say to Harry Hartley Price, there's racing hard and there's racing sensible. Like
Hey,
you know the car is going to be coming over at that point of the track. You know they're going to like be wanting that bit of room. Sometimes it's easier. I mean, there was no need to squeeze him that much to begin with anyway. And I
completely
think
agree.
after the
Completely agree.
incident on turn before, I think they were just driving a bit frustrated because I think John Harley did do a dive, did get alongside though in the braking zone, but then yeah they had a bit of a coming together. And I don't know, it's a tough call. I wouldn't want to be a steward right now because I don't
No,
know
no,
what I'd do. I
no.
personally would put it down as a racing incident, but at the
Well, we'll
same
have to see.
time, yeah, it's hard to judge. As we
There
see,
you
Phil
go. Post
Giles,
race.
black flag going into the pit
Oh,
lane. We knew there would
we
be
got it.
one. We knew there would be
Well,
one.
if you go up a few comments, Jimmy, I think Marshmallow did actually say, "Why break tradition? We're absolutely having another flag." And I know he was talking about the black flags in the pit because that's when we were speaking about it, and it seems he was
Yeah.
right. Marshmallow, look what you've done. But no, guys at home, let us know what do you think on that incident just a moment ago between John Harley and Harry Hartley Price. What is your 2 cents on that one? Because I'm really interested to find out. And the stewards did confirm it there when the black flag did come up for Phil Giles as well. It is going to be checked post race, so I think the stewards really know they need to have a proper look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, like I'm taking it from the point of view of someone that has raced this track a million times. And you know where other people are going to be positioning their cars, so you just give them a bit of extra room.
Sorry,
And
Jimmy. Just
yeah.
Aaron Sparks. It looks like the back end's just going to go out on him, and it does. Is it going to impact anybody else? I don't think it will. I don't think anybody else is close to him. Although,
Oh,
sorry to
gets
tell a
the
lie.
car off track. I mean, yeah, he did well to. You should
There you
hold your
go.
brakes. At the same time, he did well to move it out the way.
Well, sorry though, but Aaron Sparks, that has cost you that P1 to Joseph Greathouse, and you've got a little bit to do there to get it back. Once he gets onto that P1, he holds onto it very, very well. You've got a little bit of chasing to do now, mate. Really unfortunate. But no, Jimmy, back to what you were saying real quick about that incident. I think Daniel Paul has commented on that one. Harry had the line. John should have lifted to rejoin. So that's where I'm coming from on that incident.
Yeah, I see it from that point of view, and it's just in my head as well. I'm just thinking, if you are Harry Hartley Price, why squeeze that hard?
No,
Like at that
I
point,
get it.
just
I,
race side by side.
I get what you're saying, Jimmy, and that's the smart side of it, the sensible side of it, like that you
Yeah.
were saying. But it's like I said, he had the position; he didn't have to do anything. The way I see it, John should have lifted there, and it's cost Harry a lot more. He's still sitting in the pits at the moment, so that might be the end of Harry's race because John Harley's sitting still in P1 for the pros, P4 overall. It really hasn't impacted him that much at all. So. I really don't know on that one. I'm really, really intrigued to find out after this race where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like he got a lot of damage, but then again, did he? I think he pitted right afterwards anyway, so any damage he did have would have been repaired while he refueled. Um,
Just one there, Jimmy. Though I know you've spotted it just as well as I have. But Phil Giles, they're dropping a few positions with that black flag.
yeah, he did lose quite a bit because he was up there just behind John Harley, wasn't he? And now he's in yeah third last, which is yeah a big shame. But if you got the pace, we're only halfway through the race. I think he can make some of that time back up and get back
P6,
racing with the others.
well, P6 in class at the moment, though. So three more cars to get himself back into those podium spots. He'll definitely be looking for that, though. We've got just over 20 minutes of this race left to go. I think there's still a few cars left to pit though, isn't there, Jim? Or have I missed them looking at all that other
Um,
action?
I think we focused too much on Harry and John there, and I think we missed the last of the
Did we
pits.
miss them all?
But but like we said,
Well,
I
I
mean
mean,
the pits here fairly uneventful because it's easy pit lane in, unless you're Phil, and then it's yeah, and then easy pit lane out. I mean the exit of the pit lane is a little bit difficult, but it's so easy to see when the cars are coming up, and then lift if you need to and rejoin safely. So
no,
the
it
pits
really is.
are yeah, bit
No,
something or nothing around here.
something or nothing. I'm not making this a Phil Giles incident in this race. I'm going to leave that one there because it's not like what we've seen. So he's having a good race so far. Just shame about that one there, Jimmy. But no, with everybody seemed to off pitted and with just over 20 minutes left to go, Michael Gray still leading the way with Adam Wilson. We're just behind him in P2 and Craig Corish in P3. He's got it, Jimmy. He's gone from P18 all the way up to P3 and P3 overall in class. That is some truly great driving. John Harley still sitting in P1 for the pros, followed by Otto Karras about 6, 7 seconds behind him. Joseph Greathouse still leading the way for the AMS after taking that position of Aaron Sparks' mistake a few laps ago. But Aaron is only, well, he's breaking that second into him now, so we'll have to see what happens there. Following on from them, though, Ryan Clark takes the last spot in the pros, followed by Matt Massey, Harry Seven, and there is Phil Giles down in P11 at the moment. Christopher Haynes takes your last spot at the moment on the podium spots with 20 minutes to go for the AMS, followed by Raymond Van Zutphen. Just taking there, Joshua Higgy looks like he's just coming out of the pits as we speak right now. So Quinton Clumpert's going to take him right there, and I would imagine so is James Moore. Going to take him, yeah. And then Josh Eagie's going to come out P16, overall P4 in class, followed by Jordan Butler and James Vardigans. And it does seem like we have lost Harry Hartley Price for this race, sitting a couple of laps down. I do like to see them finish, Jim, but I think at 2 laps down, I think he knows his race is done.
Yeah, I think he's probably calling it at this point, and I imagine he's not too happy with John. But again, that's all going to be dealt with after the race. So we'll focus on the drivers that are on track at the moment. And yeah, one person I do want to mention though is Otto Karras at the moment. We've seen him up at the higher positions each race of this season so far, but he qualified a bit lower down in practice. He was. I don't think you'd mind me saying that he was a fair bit off the pace, but now he's absolutely flying near the top, and he's definitely found a bit of something, and yeah, he's having a good race out there.
Well, no, I've got to agree with you, Jimmy, on that one. Otto does sit near the top of those leaderboards week after week, and he proves why, and we can see it right now. Look at that. He's just lapping absolutely brilliantly at the moment. Still got a few seconds, though, on John Harley up in P1, but a P2 for him. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that still, though. However, though, Jimmy, those position changes are going to mean a lot in the championship standings if they stay the way that they are. I will get into that one when we get a little bit closer to the end. But with 20 minutes left to go, Jimmy, you know what I'm going to ask you right now. You've got about 10, 15 minutes, and this applies to you guys at home as well. I am going to want your driver of the day at around about the 52, 53-minute mark as we get to the tail end of this race. So have a little think about it, Jim. I'm going to give you the pro driver of the day today. And of course, our man behind the cameras will be taking care of the elites as always. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely, and I just love the 52 to 53 minute. It's so oddly specific, but at the same time, very much not. I just really enjoy it. But
Hey,
yeah, I'm happy to take the pros. I've got a couple names in mind, and yeah, we'll have to yeah, we'll catch up with the driver of the day in about 10 minutes time.
yeah, we'll check in with that one. And guys at home, please do let us know who's been your driver of the day today. And something, Jimmy, I'm going to start to get you to think about ready for the season finale next week. I want to know your driver of the season as
I,
well.
I had a feeling this was coming, and
It was
yeah, I've
coming.
already been thinking about some
No,
potential.
it was coming. I was going to save it till next week, but I don't want to give you one race to think about it because I'm still going to want a driver of the day from you, as always. But I'm going to want a driver of the season. And guys at home, let us know who is your driver of the season as well. But do not tell us until I ask you next week. Do not jump the gun on that one. But Jimmy, we are coming up to that. last 15 minutes, we got what, 17 minutes left to go of this race. Still plenty of time for things to chop and change. We're watching Aaron Sparks not leave Joseph Greathouse alone. And normally, Joe Greathouse is used to having a few cars between him and P2 in class. So something he might not be too used to, Jimmy.
Uh, I won't lie, I was looking at the scoreboard. I didn't I didn't hear the last little bit you said there.
No, I
I
was
didn't
just
want. I was thinking, do I just gamble and say something and just hope I get it right? But you've called me out for that in the past. But no,
no,
sorry, I missed
no,
that last little bit.
no. I was just saying Joseph Greathouse usually is used to having a couple of cars between himself and P2 in class, but he's got Aaron Sparks chasing him down around about that half a second at the moment. It's something Joseph Greathouse is probably not too used to, but Aaron is not leaving him alone, is he?
No, Aaron's having a bit of a blinder here. I mean, didn't he have a spin earlier on as well? So to be catching back up with those two, and let's not forget those two are, I mean, collectively 2 positions off of the elites at the moment. They're having a phenomenal race out on track today.
No, they really, really are. You look at it, they've got what, 4 pros behind them, and still, even then, you've got well, P3 and P4 with Chris Faines and Rain Van Sutton. But then you look at all the pros and the elites below them as well. I know we've had our instance out on track tonight, but just the way that it goes, Jimmy, we do separate these guys through their I rating, obviously for their classes, but overall, we just see some phenomenal racing from them, and we are getting it right now because I feel like Aaron Sparks is going to start to make that move any second. 3 tenths in it at the moment, and just getting under that now.
Yeah, we got. I mean, yeah, 15 minutes left to go. That's not a lot of time to. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's quite a lot of time to get an overtake done. But when you're so close in sort of skill level and speed, yeah, it does make overtaking that little bit harder, and defending is yeah, a little bit harder as well. But we'll have to see if you can get the move done. As you can see, so that
Matt Massey,
Massey just
though,
moving out the
yeah.
way, letting the I think
No,
those are the lapping cars of
I was going to say he's either letting the laughing cars go or he's had a little incident there because he
oh,
let the
no,
two
that's Phil
cars that
Giles ahead
Phil.
of him.
Well, no,
Yeah.
yeah, Phil Giles and Harry Seven have come round in front of him. I think he's made a little mistake here to allow the two. He seems to have gone in quite wide into that corner, Jim. He's got right over onto the curb to allow Harry Seven and Phil Giles to go up the inside of that corner, putting themselves some great speed to get just
Oh,
ahead
look
of
how
him there onto the
close
next
he
one on
gets
the
to Phil.
outside. So close there. Phil really touching on that. Is he going to have an incident? Please don't, Phil. We're into that last 15 minutes, mate.
Just
We're having a
taunting
great
us
race.
now at this point.
Come on, Phil. We can get there, mate. We can do it, and we're there behind you all the way. But sorry, Jim, I'm just still looking at this race between Aaron Sparks and Joe Greathouse. It really is great to see a race here for P1 in the AMS. Usually, the AMS race is wrapped up and done by about now. It's great to see it still going 46 minutes into this race.
So I'm just looking at his helmet down there on the bottom left, and he's running the Star Wars the Rebel helmet, isn't it? From
Yeah, I think
from
that's
the yeah
the Star Wars Rebel helmets that they were using back in the original trio. I think it was.
yeah, was it
Great helmet though.
episode 5, 4? No, 4. Well, I think it was the first debut, isn't it? Anyway, Aaron Sparks going for the dive that we saw, similar to the John Harley and Christopher Haynes move earlier on. Let's see how they get through this next few corners here, and doesn't quite have the pace and falls behind, flashing him a little bit. I don't think
Oh,
he was
why is the
happy with that,
flashing?
or he's maybe
Not
just
happy
trying to
at
throw
all.
him off a little bit before going into this next corner. I didn't see anything wrong with that move going on there. Just looked like hard racing from both of them. Didn't see any sort of collision, but Aaron Sparks using all the track there to try and carry as much speed through these corners as he can, getting very close to the bumper of Joseph Greathouse, putting him under pressure here.
No, it really is putting him under pressure. And we saw Aaron Sparks get just a side by side with him a few moments ago before Joe Greathouse got that great switch back on him and got himself back up the inside and back ahead of him for now. But Sparks is not leaving him alone, Jim. He really is not. And I'm not too sure, but there you go. He's just going up on the inside. He's side by side. Is he going to have the speed to get around him, though? Because it looks like Joe Greathouse is carrying that speed, gets himself. Now there he's still positioned beautifully on track to keep that P1. But is Aaron going to get side by side with me going into the corner? Backs off just a little bit there by the look of it, Jim. Trying to avoid an incident, maybe.
I think he just the line that he took just cost him a little bit of speed, but yeah, down this back straight, he'll probably catch back up once again if he can get a good exit through here and carry a bit more speed through the turn 15 at the end. But
Well, he's lost a little bit of time at the moment. He's over the half a second at the minute, and he's been keeping it under that half a second for the last couple of laps. So we've got to catch back up. But what has happened here up ahead on track? We've got Phil Giles, we've got Harry Seven, and I do apologise. I can't remember who that is in the black and the orange there.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on. Let's see what's happened then. So they're getting very, very close up ahead. Want to break a little bit early. Goes for the dive, and yeah,
Oh, Phil.
Phil.
First of all,
Well,
there's
there
the
goes Matt Massey
instant.
getting those positions back.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Massey will be loving that one there. But
So
why
what
has Phil
happens
just
here?
gone into him there? It just seems like
So he breaks a little bit early. I think. Oh, I think he just might have locked up because the angle that he's taking is straight up. But I didn't see any tires smoke or anything.
no. It's
I think.
almost like he just targeted the side of him. If I'm completely honest with you, Jim. No, I'm going to be honest. It just looked like he literally just straight up T-boned him. I'm
Yeah,
sure that's not the case, but
I don't think that would have been the case. I think he just outbraked himself and then was trying to like. I think he was trying to hold it on that sort of brake um, threshold where you don't sort of activate the ABS and start locking up. And yeah, I think he just outbraked himself into that corner. I think it was just skill, bit of a skill issue rather than anything else. But it didn't look like they had much damage between them, so hopefully they can get back under racing once again. Looks like Harry Seven kept the position. Phil Giles a bit further back now. But yeah, Matt Massey will probably be happy with that one, getting one spot away from the podium. But he's got a bit of work to do before he can potentially get on that podium, though.
yeah, just over a second and a half away from Ryan Clark, who is sitting in that P3 position at the moment there, Jim. But no, we've seen some great racing all over. We're looking at it right now. That time has dropped so for Aaron Sparks, so on Joseph Greyhouse. He's dropped that to a second and a half now. So has he slowed down or has Joseph Greyhouse sped up, do you think?
Uh, it's hard to tell. I mean, I think Aaron might have like maybe he just was just overdoing his tires a little bit, getting that kind of close to Joseph and just trying to go for all those moves and just kind of get the power down on the sort of offline and potentially maybe just done his tires in a little bit. Maybe he had a bit of a moment that we didn't quite see, but maybe Joseph Greathouse is kind of thinking like, oh, I've got a bit of a gap now, and then just kind of, when you just feel sort of like, okay, well, I've got a bit of a buffer, I can start
Yeah,
relaxing, and then you kind of just pick up a bit of pace just through sort of looking in the mirrors less and just calming down a little bit. But Aaron is catching back up slowly.
I was gonna say he's at about half a second off there. He just touched into the second there for a moment before just going back over it now. But he's still not leaving him alone. So I think we're going to see a race for P1 there right down to the end, Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are going to be battling hard all the way as Jordan Butler gets a bit of a slowdown behind, but he's got enough of a buffer that shouldn't affect his position on track.
No, it should not
And
at all, really. But there we are, Jimmy. We are into this last 10 minutes of a 60-minute feature race here for week 7 of 8 in the Algarve. Anything's going to happen in these next 9 minutes, couldn't they?
anything can happen indeed. We've seen it like a lot of chopping and changing throughout this race already. And yeah, 10 minutes to go. The pressure is now on with this being the penultimate race of the season. Then yeah, points are going to be crucial going forward to get that little prize pool at the for the end of the season. And yeah, it's a tough one to yeah. I don't know who I would call for driver of the day. I mean, Joseph Greathouse has done well being able to hold those outside lines and keep Aaron Sparks behind him, but we'll have to yeah, we'll have to keep an eye over these next 9 minutes.
No, we will indeed, Jimmy. But now we are into the last few moments of this race. Guys at home, let us know as well. Jimmy, we are going to go through our drivers of the day, if that's okay with you. And going to start us off with our elite driver of the day from our man behind the cameras, and he's actually going to give it to a Craig Corish this week. So his reasoning is from last to first. What a race! Great solid driving after a small spin at the start as well. Very very well done. Got to agree with that one, Jimmy. I'm sure you're the same thoughts as the two of us as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 6 seconds off of Adam Wilson Weir there, who's in P2, and yeah, the amount of pace that Craig has had throughout this race, especially with all the overtakes he had to make throughout the entire race as well. I mean, that does slow you down quite a lot. So the fact he's only 6 seconds off of Craig, I'd love to have seen what he'd been able to do if he didn't have that mistake on yeah so early on.
No, it really, really would because he really is fast and he's obviously keeping up with Michael out on track. He's keeping up with him in the spots as well in the championship. So it really would have been an interesting one. But P3 from the back is nothing to be sniffing about, is it? Jimmy, do you want to let us know who your pro driver is of the day is?
Yep, I've got to give it to Otto, I think, on this one. I know John has had a great race as well, and leading the way the entire way. But I was just so impressed. Just, I mean, because we got to follow with the practice session as well. To get a bit door banging, those two going on, and now it's down to Joseph to go back on the attack. But I've got to give it to Otto here because watching him throughout practice and then watching him throughout the race, he's just gained so much more pace, and it's just been so impressive to see just how much quicker he's been getting as time has been going on, and the fact that like I was kind of what I was saying in the practice, I was a bit confused about why he was so far down in the order, and then yeah, seeing the fact that he's now fighting for the podium, I think it's just I like seeing those kind of developments that you see in the drivers as the seasons go on and as the races go on, and you can sort of see them learning, picking up sort of things here and there, and then just finding good skills. So yeah, Otto's got to be it for me.
Truly, truly good choice, and completely agree with everything you said there, Jimmy. Have to completely agree with both selections so far.
And yeah, I mean it was close between John and Otto, but yeah, who was your am of the day then?
So I am going to give it to the man we're watching right now, who's kept my concentration for the last few moments. It's going to go though to an Aaron Sparks today. Look, he's had an absolutely phenomenal race out there this evening. He qualified in P1. Yes, he's sitting in P2 now, but he's giving the guy in P1 a really hard time. He has not left him alone all race. He got himself into P1 for a little while. Yes, he had the little spin, which did allow Joseph Greathouse to go through, but Aaron Sparks has been great all night long, and this is exactly why I love doing this on a Monday night, Jim. He's giving me exactly the kind of driving and the racing that I love to see. So for me, Am driver of the day, Aaron Sparks.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, yeah, it's tough between him and Joseph, I gotta say. But yeah, he's putting the pressure on. You can see him sort of. I think now that we've watched him a little bit more, those flashing of his lights are definitely trying to distract Joseph going into the braking zones, just so he can try and get like a little bit any advantage he
Yeah,
can on him throughout the lap. But yeah, Joseph
trying
has
to
done
put him off.
so well to hold him off so far. But he has had a great race, and he's definitely got a lot of pace behind him that Aaron
Well,
does.
it's like something I just touched to earlier, Jimmy, and we will get obviously to it because we're like 4 minutes away from the end. But look, when Joseph Greathouse usually gets up into P1, he sits there and he's not really challenged. Aaron has given him a challenge this week, and I'm really interested to see what is going to happen over these next 4 minutes.
Yeah, and just quickly, Daniel Paul in the YouTube chat as well. His drive of the day, yeah, he's got to give it to John Harley. So apart from the accident, the incident earlier on, he's had the best drive of his season, and yeah, I couldn't agree. He's had a really good race. He's got immense pace out there. I mean, even for getting into an accident, the fact he's that much clear of P2, he's had a really good drive out there this evening. Not to say that the others haven't, but yeah, those guys have definitely yeah, been really on form today. And yeah, if there's anyone else in the YouTube chat who you want to give a little shout out to for your driver of the day, then feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll give them a little shout out before the race ends in just a moment's time. Couple more laps left to go. Michael Gray got an immense lead out there, but we're sitting on board with Aaron Sparks and Joseph Greathouse for that fight for P1 in the AMS.
No, this is where the race is happening at the moment, Jimmy. This is where it could make a lot of difference up at the top of those leaderboards as well in the championship. If Aaron does get himself ahead of Joseph, we will obviously keep an eye on this one. But Michael Gray leading the way by 17 seconds for the elite. John Harley's got himself a nice little bit of a gap there on Otto carries 10 seconds. This is where the fight is happening.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed, and yeah, it's a strong battle out there on track. But yeah, the only other people kind of close to each other at the moment, Harry Seven fighting with Ryan Clark, getting very close behind him, potentially looking to make the move, and yeah, he closes in behind him there, and just having a little look around that corner, and beyond that, Joshua Higgy working his way up through the field and coming up to the back of Quinton Klumper. Right now, it's down to Aaron Sparks for that P1 position, Harry Seven, and Aaron Sparks and Joseph Greathouse for that P1 position, and then you've got And Clark and Harry Seven there fighting for P3. So, couple podium fights going on in these last couple laps as yeah, just Greathouse getting around the outside there. Can he keep position? That's gonna be a tough one here. No,
Takes a
he's
lot of speed,
yeah.
around the outside there, Jim. I think that's what helps him go, helps him keep that position on Aaron. But Aaron is not giving up, is he? He's going to chase this down right into the bitter end, and he's got just over a minute and a half to do this. One thing I am going to quickly touch on those, Jimmy. These guys have really, really managed these tyres out here tonight, haven't they? This is such a tough track to do that on, and I don't think we've seen many, many instances where they've just lost it. Really, have they?
No, we only saw a couple, and I mean, one of them earlier on was from the gravel, wasn't it? Not
Oh, sorry,
necessarily
Aaron.
the.
Sorry, Jimmy. Aaron Sparks getting right on the inside and looking to take over that P1 position as they're still side by side. No, doesn't make it done. Sorry to cut you off to say I thought we were going to see the position change stick for a moment.
I gotta say, one thing we gotta give Joseph Greathouse credit for is the fact that he seems to be able to carry so much momentum offline. Oh, as the back end goes round on the final lap of the race, or potentially the second, no, yeah, second to last lap of the race, and that is potentially the lead lost for him there. That is such a shame, but 1 minute left to go as yeah, this is now the final lap of the race for the driver, so only one more left to go as Michael Gray crosses that start finish line with less than a minute left to go. Oh, Joseph, he was having such a good run there, but those Corvettes, the rear end, it's so easy for them to just randomly step out on you. So
What a time for it to happen within the last minute on the last lap of the race as well, Jimmy. That is going to be so unfortunate for him. But he's not going to give up, but I don't think he's going to be able to take that back here. So we're just looking at Harry Seven here and Ryan Clark having a little side by side painting swapping action here as Ryan Clark gets him on the inside there. Harry Seven going always swapping and chopping. Who's going to take that last podium spot? Is Ryan Clark getting just ahead of Harry Seven at the minute? He's got the move done for now. We're going to come back to that in a moment, though. But Michael Gray, as he rounds out the last couple of laps here, Jimmy, he's going to be our P1 winner again. And he's going to be taking home another, another load of points, isn't he, going into the last race of next season?
yeah, he's had just such a clean, quick race out there, out on track, and yeah, now coming up to the last two, three corners coming up here. As long as he can keep it on track, he'll be absolutely fine for that win. I mean, I think even if he has a mistake, he's got plenty of room to catch back up. So well done to Michael Gray as you go through that final corner right now. And oh, who's that off behind him? Someone's just lost the car there, and that is Little Wiggle and Little Flash there. Well done, Michael Gray. That is P1 overall this race. Good race from him there. And Harry Seven, black flag on the last lap though.
Oh,
That is going to
Harry.
be huge for losing time there. That is such a shame. I wonder if he just got one too many incident points there. As you see Adam Wilson, we're crossing the line for P2. Craig Corish for P3. I mean, look how close those cars were at the end of that race. Nearly 3 seconds in it. Craig
So
really did have
close.
a phenomenal drive out there. And yeah, John Harley now coming across those last few corners for that P1 in the Pro Division. Well done to John Harley out there. Again, his incident is going to be reviewed after the race, so we'll yeah, try and let you know next race what happened if anything does happen. Otto Karas now coming across the line for P2 in the pros. Great drive from him there. And quickly cut to Aaron Sparks and Joseph Greathouse. Aaron Sparks coming across the line for P1 in the AMS. Joseph Greathouse just behind him. Phenomenal battle and yeah, good show that those boys have put on for us this evening.
No, it's been a great race all around, especially from those two in those last 10, 15 minutes of this race. So, Jimmy, I really didn't know who was going to take it between the two of them. And seems like Aaron's just pipped in there from a mistake. But we're looking at Ryan Clark now coming around with Matt Massey there taking him. He's going to take that last spot off him at that last position.
They're slowing down.
I don't know. Has Ryan Clark just slowed down for Matt Massey to take the P3 there in the pros?
Yeah, I mean it's a live track. You can't really be stopping
Well,
that early on.
I'm sure the stewards might have to have a look at that one if he has indeed done that. But fair play to him though for giving Matt Massey that last podium spot back. He must felt like he had earned it. But there you go,
Yeah.
Jimmy. That is our racing done for the night. 36 laps, 60 minutes of racing action.
I just had a
Uh,
thought. I just had a thought. Is this the track where was it Schumacher and can't remember the other driver now. They went for that sort of like Schumacher tried to give his teammate the podium, and they
Oh, for the
slowed down to
Ferraris,
yeah. Is this
wasn't
that
it?
track? It might not be, but I can't remember.
I'm not too sure if it was this one, but I could be mistaken on that, Jimmy. But no, there you go. 36 laps, 1 hour of racing complete. We know who our winners are, but do you want to finalize it and let everybody at home know just how it has finished here this evening?
Yep, let's read through that timing board and yeah, just quickly to note that will be looked at as the yeah for that will be my words are just lost now. That will be
Yeah,
investigated at the for the next
Ryan
race as
Clark. Well,
well for
yeah.
the
So basically, it's going to be looked at why he slowed down on track there. So the incident will be looked at. So we'll let everybody at home know next week if that does change anything. But Jimmy, let everybody
yep.
know how it has finished here tonight.
Right, we have Michael Gray winning the race overall and getting P1 in the elites and on track. Adam Wilson-Weir P2, Craig Corish P3. John Harley getting P1 in the pros but P4 overall, followed by Otto Karas. Aaron Sparks getting P1 in the AMs and P6 on track. Joseph Greathouse getting P7. Matt Massey P8. Ryan Clark, Raymond Van Zutphen, Quinton Clumpert, Joshua Higgy, Harry Seven, Phil Giles, Christopher Haynes, James Moore, Jordan Butler, James Vardigans, and Harry Hartley Price round out your 19 drivers out on track this evening. So yeah, great show that those guys put on for us this evening. It's a tough track, and I think they all did pretty well. We saw a little bit of door banging, a little bit of a hard racing, but it's all part of the fun. And yeah, we will cut over to the interviews in just a moment's time, giving the drivers a little bit of a chance to get ready after the race. But yeah, we're gonna try and I think speak to Aaron Sparks first for our interviews.
There you go. We'll bring him in just a moment's time. But Jimmy, that was an absolutely phenomenal race here this evening. I tell you what, they're ready to speak to us, so let's bring him in here. We're going to get our P1 winner for the AMS in first, Mr. Aaron Sparks. First of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Secondly, what a race you and Joseph Greathouse gave us to watch there right at the end. How
Oh
how
my
did you find
gosh.
that one, mate? That was a phenomenal race.
It was tough. It was very tough, very intense.
No, mate, it definitely looked like it. There was lots of chopping and changing between the two of you. You led for a while, he led for a while. There was a little bit of a coming together there. You were flashing the lights at one point. We wondered what was going on. Like, mate, it was a truly phenomenal race there. Obviously, you took that P1 right at the end with a qualified P1. That is a truly great evening for you, my mate.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did you find it all, though? How did you find this evening's race?
Oh man, it was tough, and I was hoping his tires would give out before mine, or I was quite surprised to see I was as high up in the quality as I was. So yeah,
Hey, mate, it's nothing short to take it off Joseph Greathouse, and that's not taking anything away from the
yeah.
rest of you. But you have been phenomenal. And just to
Thank you.
remind you as well, you did actually qualify first last week in Spain as well when we were at Barcelona. So you've had
Yeah,
two great qualifying weeks and a race win, mate. Congratulations on that
thank you.
one. No, look, we don't like to keep you guys for too long after 60 minutes of racing. Before I let you go, though, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, I'll give thanks to my mom and dad since I wouldn't be here without them.
Ah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Hello, mom and dad. Thank you for joining us. If you did this evening, your
They
son's
did.
a race winner, and that's what we like to see. Aaron, we're gonna love you and leave you and let you go, and we shall catch you next week for the season finale.
All right, take care, man.
See you later, mate. Have a good one. There you go, Jimmy. That is our P1 in the AMS. I think I'm gonna get our P2 in here now though, and find out his side of it. Let's bring him in. Joseph Greathouse. First of all, good evening. Secondly, what a race that was for yourself there at the end. How did you find it?
Well, that was one of the most intense 15 minutes I've had. Um,
No, no, it really, really was, mate. I was saying to Jim during the race that usually once you get out in first, you're quite comfortable up there. You don't really get challenged a lot. Aaron did not leave you alone, and he did get you right on the end there. There was a little bit of a slip from yourself, which obviously cost that, but it was great racing, mate. That last 15 minutes was truly phenomenal. I'm sure you can agree with that.
yeah.
Brilliant racing out there, mate. Brilliant racing. Look, I don't like to keep you guys for too long. So before I do let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Friends and family that support, and thank you all for broadcasting and doing host race.
No, you are more than welcome, mate. You are more than welcome. Look, we shall catch up with you next week for the last race of the season. We'll see you then, all right?
Yep. See ya.
You have a good one, my mate. You have a good one. There you go, Jimmy. I'm going to leave it there for the AMs at the moment. We're going to move it on up to the pros. Let's speak to John Harley, shall we? Our P1 winner for the pros. Good evening, John. How are you this evening?
Hello, hello. I'm quite well, quite well. Bit sweaty once again.
Hey, mate, it was some great racing out there tonight. P1 though for you, that was a phenomenal result. Qualified P2, got the race win at the end though. How did you find it?
Oh, it was pretty cruisy. I actually felt quite at home behind I would think it was Adam and Harry. I wanted to stay behind them because I was going to save some fuel. I had a bit of a issue when they started fighting because I started losing out to Phil behind me.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, once they sort of spread out a little bit, I was all over Harry a bit, and I was still losing a bit of time behind me. So went for a bit of a move, and it didn't quite work out. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we're it was an interesting one when we were looking at it. There was a couple of different opinions. There was different views on it, I'll say. But no, it was a really interesting race, mate. And we'll have to have a look what the stewards come up with for that one though later when they do, mate. But for now though, P1, mate, you've got to be happy with that.
yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. It was a pretty intense race, but the end of it was I just had free air, so I was just lapping towards the end.
There you go. Easily done, mate. Easily done for you right at the end there. Look, we don't like to keep you guys for too long. Before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, just a big thanks to Spectra Racing and our sponsors, Simworks UK and W Energy Drinks. They all help us get along, and yeah, that's that.
There you go, my mate. There you go. Well, thank you for
Thanks
that
to you
one.
guys
Thank you.
too. You do a great broadcast as well.
Thank you very much. It's always nice to be appreciated, mate. But look, we shall let you go and we shall see you next week for race 8 of 8. All right.
I'll be there. See you there.
See you later, mate. Have a good one. There you go. That's our P1. Let's speak to our P2 and your driver of the day now, Jimmy. Shall we bring in a Mr. Otto Karras? I think we will. Otto, good evening. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very happy. I really wasn't
Very,
expecting to be talking to you guys today, actually.
mate. I can tell you've got like a really big grin on your face right now as you're talking to me.
Yeah.
No, mate, you had a great race, and you'll be happy to know as well. You did, in fact, actually get driver of the day for the pro class as well. So, well done on that result as well. It was a great race out there, though, mate. How did you find it all?
Yeah, I got into the race with not a lot of practice because I did a 24-hour race yesterday, so
Oof.
didn't really practice for this one. But I just started it slow. My goal was to get 0 incident points in the race, which I did. And then all the other cars around me just started making mistakes, and I slowly worked myself away to the front. People spun, some people got some pit lane penalties, I think, and then suddenly after the pit stop, I was in second place, and I stayed there.
There you go, mate. I think we picked up on it. You were so consistent. You just lapped after lap. You were having great races tonight. You did really, really well, mate. You really did deserve that podium P2 finish and that driver of the day again. So congratulations on both of those, one, mate. But look, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, thank you guys, actually. Being
You're well
interviewed
done.
is quite scary, especially when it's not in your native language and you guys just make it go
Mate,
quite easy.
you couldn't even tell you're a natural. Don't you worry about that, mate. There
All
you
right, have
go.
a good one, guys. See you next
Have a
week.
have a good one, Otto. We'll catch you for the last one next week. All right.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.
See you later, mate. Have a good one. All right, Jimmy, that is it for our pros, but we are going to finish off with one more. We didn't speak to him last week. We've got him this week. Michael Gray, our race winner, P1 for the pros, P1 overall. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, yeah. You lot?
Mate, we are very, very well. It was a great race to watch tonight. How did you find it? Because with nearly 20 seconds to P2, you seem to have ran away with it a bit again this evening.
Yeah, well, I went into a bit of a conservative mode, but because obviously I'm close with Craig in the championship, I saw that he disappeared
Very close.
on lap 2, so I just thought, right, just steady away, see what I can do. Yes, I had to get back past Harry because I messed up the last turn. But yeah, other than that, it was a steady race. Apart from my fan going off at about 10 minutes in, I've been pumping with sweat ever since.
Oh, mate, that is unfortunate. Could you not shout someone to turn it back on for you?
I don't know, yeah.
No, there you go, mate. But no, that is a great result. And no, it was tight with Craig. We were looking forward to seeing how that one would pan out, but he did drop to the back. Look, he got himself back up to P3, so he had a great race himself. Just couldn't quite get back up there. But congratulations, mate, on that P1 result again, taking that into the last week. Like you said, it is very, very close up there in the championship standing. So every point matters, and that P1 definitely helps you out. So no, congratulations, my mate. Before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, all the guys who set the league up, Sean and Connor doing the stewarding, you guys broadcasting, everyone at Full Tilt Motorsport. And can I just give a shout out to Sean, speedy recovery, and hope he gets well soon.
Absolutely, completely agree, mate. Completely agree. Speedy recovery, Sean, from all of us here at Trackside and everybody racing in your Tanzo Racing Group. Well said, Michael. There you go. Michael, it's always a pleasure to speak to you, though, my mate. Always a pleasure, as always. So
Yep,
we'll see you for the last one next week then.
yep, we'll try and do the same next week.
There you go. I'm sure you will, my mate. I'm sure you will. But we'll see what next week brings. Eh? It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
We'll see you there, mate.
All right, nice one. See ya.
See you later, buddy. There you go, Jimmy. A great race, a great bunch of guys. I do love speaking to them afterwards and finding out their opinions on it all. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with Otto. I mean, speaking to us not in his native language, and me stuttering through that sentence there, I think goes to show that I think he can speak English better than we can. So
No, I think if anything happens to Otto next week, touch wood it doesn't, I might bring him in here, Jimmy, and put you in the car.
I'll take that. I think we'll have a better job either way. But no, I
No,
mean, what a good race here at Algarve. Always makes for great racing. Great league here. Great people in there, and it's always nice speaking to them. But that will be checkered flag from us here in Portugal and checkered flag from us here at Trackside Broadcasting. Gaz, any final words?
yeah, thanks for that one, Jimmy. I've got to say, another great race here to round off the Monday evening. I think we've all been treated again this evening, just like last week. And hopefully we can see off that one next week as well. Before we do go, though, I just want to thank our sponsors again, Spectra Racing, Clark St. James Motorsport, and Murby Goes, and of course, the Tanzo Racing Group for hosting us again this season. But for now, we say goodbye to Race Week 7 and goodbye to Portugal, because next week we are headed into the season finale, race 8 of 8. And what a track we have for you. We are racing the big one. We are flying over to Germany and we are at the Nürburgring. Yes, we are racing Nürburgring, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But no, thank you again to everybody for watching at home and to all of the drivers out there for us tonight. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe to us here at Trackside Broadcasting so you do not miss another race. You have a good week and we'll catch you in Germany for the finale. We shall see you then. So good night from everybody at Trackside Broadcasting.